Okay, so they still cleaning up the aftermath of the incident that occurred here right around 5 o'clock. It was right around 5 o'clock that there was a police involved shooting right here on the corner at this little shopping center right here on the corner of Slaughter Lane and Menchaca. And I'm gonna get AI to tell me the news because Google, the police officers told me there's a press release. There have been a lot of rumors spreading around what actually happened. I got here, I saw the police, I saw the ambulance take a couple people away. So anyway, hey Google, tell me the news about today's police involved shooting on West Slaughter Lane in Austin, Texas. Tell me about the police involved shooting on West Slaughter Lane in Austin, Texas a few hours ago. Up, it's on my speaker.
Is currently investigating. One person died after a police-involved shooting in the 1800 block of West Slaughter Lane, and no officers were injured. The Austin Police Department is currently investigating. Austin police have confirmed an officer-involved shooting occurred on West Slaughter Lane, resulting in one death. However, as of now, they have not released any details about what led to the incident. Police have stated that no officers were injured and that the investigation is ongoing.
Look harder. I've been here at the scene for a few hours, and the police say the press release has been officially released.
Initial reports from the Austin Police Department indicate an officer-involved shooting occurred in the 1800 block of West Slaughter Lane, resulting in one fatality. Police say no officers were injured. Authorities are advising people to find alternate routes as the investigation is ongoing. Further details about what led to the shooting have not been.
Okay, so Google Gemini is not quite up to date. Like I say, there has been a police report. There has been the police officer just told me police involved shooting. So I'm gonna go ahead and read. So I'm gonna go with KEYE. Let's hope that they got some up-to-date news. This was released at 6:56, so that was quite a while ago. According to CBS Austin, a police department is actively investigating a deadly officer-involved shooting in South Austin on Thursday afternoon, so a few hours ago. APD said this happened in the shopping center parking lot of the 1800 block of West Slaughter Lane, near West Slaughter Lane in Menchaca. Police reported at 6:49 p.m. that one person is dead. And they reported at 6:49, like I say, this happened around 5 o'clock. Police reported at 6:49 p.m. that one person is dead as a result of the shooting and no officers have been injured. The same thing. So this is according to Austin Police Department. Let me see. So this is Austin's actual Twitter account. No, this is the one that was released at 7 o'clock. Man, this is crazy. Why can't we get no up-to-date information? It's crazy. I'm sitting right here, and I just don't want to give out no false information. That's the main thing here. I do believe that all the things that I've heard so far are true. Damn, I hate having to go to this news source. It's the same thing. Everybody's reporting the same thing. So, man, this is crazy, man. Let me see if I could turn on the radio and get some news.
Control the radical.
Kennedy praised cuts off the use of SNAP benefits for soda and candy.
We spend $405 million a day.
I don't want to hear that dude's voice. Okay, so I think this is the official press release. No, that's May 17th. No. Damn it, man. This is crazy. So, like I say, one person has been killed. The other person is probably still in the hospital. So 2 people were shot. The area is still an active scene right now. I could verify that. It's police tape and cops all around me right now. It's currently 8:57 p.m. So one person was killed. Another person was shot. A lot of people were shook up. A lot of people were traumatized. This messed up a lot of people. It happened right in the middle. It was broad daylight, man. And according to these reports, man, this is crazy. But according to these reports, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and read what the Reddit posts say. So take everything I'm gonna say with a grain of salt. This is the local people gossiping on Reddit. The Planet Fitness just shut down, and there are lots of cops and ambulances in the parking lot. This was posted, it says 3 hours ago. The Thundercloud shop is where the action took place. So here's somebody who posted something. This is an anonymous guy, Young X Sauce X. I work at the barber shop right next to the Thundercloud. Black SUV pulled up and about 5 street clothes cops with vests hopped out and ran to restaurant. We came out to see what was going on. The next thing you know, shots started popping off. Suspects dead and one bystander got shot and taken away by EMS. Like I say, 2 people left in those ambulances. I guess one was the dead body. Somebody put sad. I hope the victim is okay and the bystander pulls through. I'm also glad no bullets went through y'all's shared wall and struck any of you guys in your shot. Somebody else put, dang, thanks for the info. Here somebody is, they got a joke about canceling memberships. Had nothing to do with the Planet Fitness. Someone got real tired of the extra shit they had to do to cancel membership. I thought the membership was the hostage situation itself. And so that was the rumor earlier. Everybody was saying that it was a hostage situation. It's seeming like the hostage situation might have been a rumor. But also, that's what everybody around here was saying. Everybody around here was saying it was a hostage situation. That's what everybody was saying around here for hours. That was the rumor. But the cops wouldn't confirm that. And I don't think it don't look like a hostage situation. The cops that were gathered around and everything, they didn't look tense. SWAT never showed up. So I think the hostage situation, let's just for now say the hostage situation is a 50-50 thing. My bank account got hacked at some point, and my bank had to get. That's how I quit my Planet Fitness membership. Someone got shot by the police outside the Thundercloud subs. True. Just had 4 unmarked cars speed past me with their lights on in Shaka. Yeah, it was chaos over here earlier. I was going to pick up dinner from there and was getting out of the car when about 6 officers ran around my car with guns pulled up. They went inside Thundercloud, which is where I headed. I jumped back in the car and took off. Shots were definitely fired. I was parked right in front of the store. It was super crowded when it happened. This area was super busy when it happened. Had a next door alert about police activity at Menchaca and Slaughter with no info. Thanks for the update. Hope the best for the injured. Like I say, one person is deceased. I would hate to make a lunk alert joke if there was something actually terrible going on. Well, I hope it's weight off your shoulders. Lots of jokes. I just got food delivered and the driver said something major was happening there, messing up traffic. True. I hope it's not related, but when I picked up sandwiches from there a couple of days ago, there was a guy out front on the sidewalk, clearly in some mental distress and harassing folks. That's an exaggeration. That dude that be hanging out around here, he'll probably look scary to like some white people. He got tattoos and everything. But it appears that young man, in my opinion, I talk to him a lot, but that young man, I think he smoked that fake weed till his brain is just gone. He looked like he was real normal not too long ago. If I see him again, I might actually pull him in the car and interview him, because he do be hanging around here. I hope it's not related. Oh, unfortunately, this area has a few of these mentally distressed folks. Not really, man. Yes and no. Unfortunately, this area has a few of these mentally distressed folks. Look, people live in these woods all over Austin. The folks be living in the woods. Saw someone get assaulted in the HEB parking lot last week. No reason, just homeless guy starting shit with folks coming out the store. It's possible. Somebody answered, that dude is harmless and had nothing to do with it. If anything, he's traumatized. Those noises and cops freaked him out. He ran away before the ambulances came. Was going to pick up my daughter from school and saw about 15 cop cars, 5 ambulances, and a bunch of emergency vehicles rush the place. Was wondering what's happening. Damn, I consider that PF one of the nicer gyms. And again, I was at the intersection when 3 cops rolled in. I was at the Discount Tire. Tons of cops pulled up. Discount Tire, ain't no discount tire. Ain't no discount tire around here. I was at the Discount Tire and tons of cops pulled up. Oh, there might be a Discount Tire right there. Yeah, it is a Discount Tire right there. I was at the Discount Tire and tons of cops pulled up, shutting off the parking lot. And they did. They closed off most entrances to the parking lot when it was happening. I have no idea what's happening, but I know it was serious. Pretty serious, man. They still investigating. It's 9 o'clock at night. Me too. I just wanted my T-Cloud. Sounds like a good thing you didn't make it. Yeah, real talk, bro. You would have been in there for that. You would have been in there for that. You would have saw somebody get shot and killed. Yeah, it was. I was at the chiropractor in the mall. What mall? No guns pulled, just a bunch of caution tape, and police homicide detectives showed up before the ambulance, then left slowly and quietly. The incident happened inside the thundercloud, according to another person close to the scene. This info is outdated at this point. How you going to know all that way from the Burger King? I just saw this on KXAN. So there's a link right there. I'm going to click on that in a second. I was wondering, I left LA Fitness, that's across the street. But anyway, it was so much police activity. If you was anywhere around this corner, you saw these cops, and it freaked you out. And now that it's nighttime, it looked real freaky because it's just blue and red lights all over the parking lot. I literally ate at this thundercloud just a few hours ago. Yeah, I ate that 2 months ago, so it hits close to home. That was a lot of police cars for this. Seems like a bit of an overkill, but nice to know that there are that many unmarked police cars out there. I was at Walgreens at Congress and Slaughter when I saw them flying by, then drove by a particular shopping center on the way home. Now I'm going to click on this last little link and see if it got any more information that I haven't read already. Oh, this is a link to my video. So I got a link to the video I posted earlier, man. Like, oh, look, some information that I might not have seen. Okay, wait, this do look like an article with a little bit more investigation. And this is the story that I read earlier. So this is on KXAN. This is local Austin station, news station, fair usage. And I already made this video 17 minutes. One person is dead and another was seriously injured after a shooting involved Austin police officers on Thursday afternoon at South Austin Strip Mall. Oh, this is what they call in the mall. Yeah, it's a strip mall. I guess you could call it that. Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis said during a media briefing. Davis said the APD Major Crime Unit was investigating a series of burglaries and a home invasion where a gun was used. She said the suspect was identified and was located in a strip mall in the 1800 block off of Slaughter Lane, which is near Menchaca Road in South Austin. When officers approached the suspect, Davis said he drew a handgun from his waistband as he was walking backwards. He was then tackled by a bystander to bring him to the ground. She said officers then fired shots. The suspect died and the bystander was struck in the shoulder and taken to the hospital where he is in good condition, Davis said. She said the bystanders' heroic efforts are appreciated. It is an unfortunate incident that we had a violent criminal here, again, committing serious burglaries and home invasion robberies, Davis said. As a way to stay transparent with the community, David said APD will hold another conference within 72 hours. The officer involved in the shooting is on administrative leave per APD protocol, David said. Says Davis in some places and David the others. No other details were available Thursday. It is Thursday. It's funny how they be writing that stuff. But that's all the news right now. The rumors about the hostage situation, according to the news and according to the police that talked to me, they're saying that there was no hostage situation, but that was the rumor. And like I say earlier, a lot of people just thought that 2 people were shot and killed. Apparently, 2 people were shot, 1 survived. And again, according to the police and the news, the bad guy is the only person that got killed. No officers were injured. And, you know, like I say, from what I've seen, I don't think it was a hostage. It didn't look like a hostage situation. The cops didn't look tense. None of the times that I saw them, nobody was running or anything like that I saw. So I got here after the shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I did see the guys I did see him put in my ambulance. I did see him drive away. And I actually got all of that on my 360 camera. Because I was here. When the first cops was like swooping in, I was here. Like they really stopped me from driving into the parking lot. I was at the red lane to turn into here. And as I was waiting, that's when I first started recording because I'm waiting at the red light. And then I see cops coming in my rearview mirror. And I see them and I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, they like go around and the way they driving around traffic, I was like, they're not putting on their sirens. They're not like, there was a lot of traffic. It was a lot of traffic, man. If I could find my receipt, I could tell you guys exactly when everything happened, man. Exactly. So I bought my food at about 5:44. So all of that stuff happened probably about 5:20 in the afternoon. So you got to think about that. Like I say, it was full-blown rush hour. And the cops, but they didn't blow through traffic. They didn't do anything. But the cops that I saw swooping into the parking lot and driving around traffic, it was 3 cars. It was one unmarked black SUV, 2 regular APD cars. They swooped around. The light turns green. I make the U-turn, and I'm going into the parking lot, and I'm like, damn, that kind of look like it's happening at the Planet Fitness. And so the first part I drive into, it's a cop blocking that entrance. And so then I go through the little Jiffy Lube, and I'm like, I could go in that way, but it's a little bit too many police officers. So let me chill out and like sniff the air a little bit. But I was really hungry. I hadn't eaten. And so I was like, let me go to the Burger King. So as I'm in the Burger King, I'm just seeing more and more cops in my rearview mirror. And I'm like, man, what the hell is going on, man? And so the dude serving out the window, he was like, what you mean what's going on? And I was like, all these police, man, like, did you hear some shoots? Did you hear some gunshots or something? And I told him, I was like, I thought I heard some gunshots, like, before I even start driving this direction. Because I'm homeless, man. I live in my vehicle. And to be honest, I was right under the bridge, right over there. And I heard the gunshots. At least, I'm going to put it like this. I was sitting there, and I heard something that sounded like gunshots. And that's why I got to moving around. I was like, man, it kind of sound like gunshots. Let me move around instead of just sitting under this bridge. And a lot of people had no idea what bridge I'm talking about. There's a little hidaway spot over here that a lot of people who think they know this area, they don't know this area. But if you want to like the homeless people or one of the street people or one of the people that be walking around a lot, you know the bridge I'm talking about right there by the train. And as the train was going by, that's when I thought I heard the gunshots, and I was like, no. But either way, let me move around, man, just hanging out under this sketchy ass bridge. I had been there too long. I was there for shade so that I could straighten out I got to do the laundry. But anyway, like I say, yes, I was coming towards the gunshots, but I wasn't sure it was gunshots. It's a loud area. It was trains over there and everything. So, it just wasn't no telling. But this is a city. And here's my prediction. We just gonna get into it, man. I'm gonna keep recording. If you want to know more about the incident, there ain't no more for me to tell you. But I'm gonna keep talking about the type of stuff that I be talking about, man. As I go to the laundromat to go do my laundry. Because I don't know if I'm gonna go do my laundry. As a matter of fact, I need to do some hustling. I might need to work. The laundromat I'll be using is 24 hours. But as I turn and leave this parking lot, I don't know if it's going to pick up in these back windows, but these police are still, it's not picking up real good. But I'm telling you, it's police all around the place. if I roll down my windows, people gonna keep coming up to me asking me, what happened, man? Because this is one of my little hangout spots. Like, you know, I be on the do-gooder shit sometimes. And me being one of these street people, you know, one of the working homeless, you know, people talk trash about the homeless all the time, like how somebody put on that little thing about old buddy. Talk about, I know exactly who they was talking about, man. That dude don't mess with he don't mess with nobody. He is, you know, he gone. You know, like I say, I think he smoked his brains out. But, yep, he right here. He right here, man. He right here, man. He right here, and he's scared to go back over there. He do be hanging out over there. But he's scared to go over there, man. And he kind of, you going to see him in my back window right now, man. He kind of trying to interview him would be real hard. But I be talking to him. I haven't caught him having a good day yet. But there's a good chance he might come and holler at me. But like I say, he freaked out. He freaked out, man. That whole situation, you know, that whole situation freaked him out, man. He don't be hanging out at this store right here. Because the store that I just parked at, the other panhandlers and stuff, they like competitive over who gonna panhandle over here. And he ain't from this area, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how he got caught up and stuck over here. But like I said, if I put my window down. I know that other dude. But I was thinking about going into the podcast and doing the Bro Nogan pod. Well, like I say, I don't do the Bro Nogan podcast anymore, but I do the Fighting Idiocracy podcast. And you know, I've been arguing. I've been kind of like a lot of people say I'm defending Rajah Jackson. Rajah Jackson remind me of one of my sons, man. You know what I'm saying? And he remind me of one of my sons. You know, my son, like Rajah Jackson, man. Rajah Jackson is a fucking sweet kid, man. You could tell he's a sweet kid, man. You know, but the fact that he's even a vegan, you know what I'm saying? When it don't make no sense for him to be no vegan. He ain't a vegan for dietary reasons. He ain't a vegan because he's allergic to meat or anything like that. Is this dude honking at me? Who you honking at? But this is a very interesting neighborhood in Austin. Like most Austin neighborhoods, you got guys like me that be around all the time. I'm homeless, but I'm working homeless, and I'm struggling homeless. I be hustling, man. I work hard, man. You know, a lot of people want to talk about the homeless in Austin, and a lot of these motherfuckers just got here. I've been working in Austin since the 90s, and I work hard, man. I work harder than most of these people that got something to say about the homeless. Just like a lot of these homeless dudes. A lot of these homeless dudes is out here because of a bad divorce. Maybe they never recovered after the housing market bubble bust. Maybe, again, a bad divorce. That could fuck a dude up, man. Especially these dudes that be getting married young and their wife do everything for them. And they end up breaking up. These motherfuckers don't know how to cook. 30, 40, 50 years old, don't know how to cook, don't know how to use a washing machine, don't know how to use a stove. And these young people, they just don't do shit no more. They just don't learn shit. There's so many people who don't know how to do shit, and people got an attitude. They be getting, motherfuckers be living in their mama's house till they 20, 30, 40. And then they have one argument and their mama put them out, and they put them out for good. They've been wanting them to move out for 10 years, And they finally kick them out, and they like, man, you are not coming back in this house, man. I done finally got peace and peace of mind. You better figure it out. And that's what you see a lot in Austin. That's what you see a lot of Austin. A lot of these Austin homeless, they ain't got no business being homeless, man. They don't come from poverty. They ain't been locked up. And if they have been locked up, it's for little nothing. These motherfuckers just don't be wanting to work. Americans are lazy, and it ain't just Austin, man. I've lived in so many cities. I've traveled in so many cities, man. You know, if you come from extreme poverty, don't feel bad about that, because you gonna survive. I think in the upcoming days, I think that we're gonna have a lot of bad times, man. You know, this is the city, man, and the city is back alive. And even though we got all this stuff and police are telling people to stay away from this corner, it's still super busy. That's what it be like. That's how it be like. Some people are from and you know, there's some too that mess up people. If you from Austin, the Austin that you live in, the population has changed, and it messed people up. People talk about how much Austin has changed. Austin ain't really changed that much, with the exception of the damn population. And people don't even know how inconsiderate they are. Just like this person that just pulled up, and they're clearly shining their brights directly into my face. Person pulled up to one of the gas pumps. And even though I'm lit up like a Christmas tree, they're not thinking about it. They can clearly see me. Their headlights are pointing right at my face. I'll give them a little hint by putting my visor down and protecting my eyes. Will they cut off their lights? No. Now, there have been plenty of times that somebody did that and they just being inconsiderate. You know what I'm saying? They're just sitting there at the pump. They're just sitting there at the pump. And I'm not afraid to go tell them, give them a little lesson in manners and politeness. Like, hey, man, I was sitting there minding my business. You drove up shining your light in my face. Do you mind? Do you mind? I did this to somebody the other day. And again, I'll be the bad person. I'll be the bad guy. Now I am getting kind of annoyed. It's a woman. And she just left her car and she's just walking past me. Lights are still on. She's not in there. She's not driving. Maybe there's a kid in the car. Why the fuck would she leave the car? Rude bitch. Okay, the lights just went off. I'm gonna go back to my parking spot. But she got her lights. She one of those people who got her lights set to go off after a few minutes. Which I get it and I understand it. A lot of women do that. You know, that's a setting for the vehicle. This shit was bright to the motherfucker though, man. And yes, I called her a rude bitch. But, you know, a person like that just go through life, not paying attention to what they doing to other people, them will be the first ones that got something to complain about. They complain about this and that, but they go through life being rude and inconsiderate. There's lots of different types of rudeness. Now, again, I was in a stressful situation because I go to the gym and they even shut down the gym for a little while. So I was sitting in the parking lot. A lot of the video footage I got earlier, it was because, you know, the police told me that I could stay and I could record and I could see what was happening. The police didn't run me off. But I was like, you know, I came here to the gym to take a shower, man. I tell the police, man, I got it on camera. Like, man, I live in my car. I didn't even tell the cop I live in my car. But he figured it out. Because I was like, because I went to park in the shade, but I was closer to the crime scene. And so he came up to my window and he said, hey, man, we're going to be here all day. I literally got that on camera. He was like, we're going to be here all day, man. So if you waiting to go there, you know what I'm saying, you could go. And I told him, I was like, no, man, I came to the gym. Is the gym going to open back up? And he was like, I don't know, man. And I was like, well, I got to take a shower. You know what I'm saying? I got to take a shower. And then he kind of like looked in the vehicle and he was like, oh, you good, man, you good. Because it's clear that I'm homeless. You know what I'm saying? To anybody who got any sense, it's clear that I'm homeless, but most people don't have any sense. And most people, like a lot of people, like this woman is a trip right here. The woman I just called a bitch. She went and bought, looked like some alcohol. And I might have caught her on camera. I don't give a fuck though. Have some manners. That's the funny thing. Now, I'm originally from Chicago, and people in the South love saying that Chicago is not a polite city. But Chicago is a very polite city. For instance, just like this was shining the lights in my face. That type of stuff, people would notice it. You know what I'm saying? People would notice, like, and even if they don't notice, somebody next to them will be like, why you shining your lights on that dude? You know, be considerate, man. If that motherfucker snap on you, he'll be wrong. And I don't be snapping because I just get it. We all got to be easier. I mentioned Rajah Jackson. I watch a lot of MMA, and when it comes to YouTube, you know, it's certain things I'm subscribed to. I'm subscribed to a lot of MMA channels because, to be honest, I'd rather watch MMA on YouTube than to watch what MMA has become. Back in the days, the first UFC, they used to have tournaments. A tournament was like 2 hours, and it was no commercials. Now it's very different. You know, you could watch it's like a regular sport. You watching it for 3-4 hours, but you're not watching that long. You're not watching that much action. But the tournaments used to be cool. UFC need to do tournaments like once a year, man. Like give the fans something once a year. Fans like myself. I don't want to watch UFC every week. I never wanted to watch UFC every week. But, you know, like once a year and make an event. And also don't make me watch an hour's worth of commercials, man. Nowadays, even with the pay-per-view, man, you spend a lot of time watching people not having anything to do with martial arts. The UFC tournaments was, you know, I guess they weren't that popular for the masses, but guys like myself, man, they was just dope, man. I miss the UFC tournament days. The original UFC, the original Ultimate Fighting Championship. That's what it stands for, Ultimate Fighting Championship. And like I say, the UFC needs to have some kind of championship events. But anyway, I'm subscribed to a lot of MMA channels. And in the MMA world, it's changed a lot. It's just a regular spectator sport now. And people talk about MMA like they talk about football. It's that football mentality. I don't fucking like football. But more than not liking football, I don't like football people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't hate dogs, but I don't really care for dog people. I don't hate cats, but I really don't care for cat people. That's a funny thing too. Like, yeah, motherfuckers is acting different. Motherfuckers is acting different right now. Yeah, somebody got shot up here, so people acting different. Anyway, I need to clear out because people, it looked like I'm making the business slow down. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Stay safe and stay grateful, man. Back to the Rajah Jackson thing. I've been arguing with people for a long time about the Rajah Jackson thing. Rajah Jackson recently snapped. Rajah Jackson, let's just face it and let's be real. So like I said, Rajah Jackson remind me of one of my kids, man. You know, and he snapped. He snapped on somebody. And the fucked up thing is when a person snaps, they usually snap on somebody that they're not mad at. You know, I used to be an angry young man. And right now we have a problem with angry young men. And see, this is why I give my middle finger to the middle world. Because when I was an angry young man, it wasn't allowed. I got locked up left and right. Now these angry young men, they sit around in some basement somewhere being angry on the internet, pushing that fear out to the ether, arguing with people like me who spend my time in the streets all day. I ain't got no business arguing with no young ass punks talking shit all day. Those young ass punks need to be with other young ass punks punching on each other. You want to fight and all this other stuff? You fight with your peers, man. And the same with Rajah Jackson, which Rajah Jackson do that. He be mixing it up. He fights with other UFC players or UFC types all day. That's the good thing about martial arts. These young men, they get to let that out. There's a lot of angry young men in the world. That's kind of like, for a good percentage of young men, that's kind of like what it is to be 20. Now, back in my days, it was the street days. It was the banging days. It was the ruckus days, you know what I'm saying? The mobbing days. Mobbing. We used to mob all day. You know, we just be mobbing, man. We just be mobbing. And we'll mob on your motherfucking ass. Picking fights with strangers all day, every day. That's what the 80s and the 90s was like in the big cities. Real talk, man. And it's something appealing about that. It's something fun about that. It's something in our nature about that. You know, that's one of the things about sending these young men off to war. Nowadays, thankfully, we don't have any wars where we send these young men off to, but these young men are still being born. And they still turning 20 every day. Every day, countless men turn 20. And instead of hanging out with a bunch of other 20-year-olds, punching on each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, friends could fight each other. Sometimes. But that's how you get to know if you're the right dude or you're in the right circle or whatever. If you with dudes that argue and then punch on each other and that ain't for you, you learn, hey, man, maybe I should go get an office job. Or, hey, man, maybe I should go become a cop. Or, hey, man, maybe I should blah, 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 blah. These young men don't really have no way to test themselves or be apprentice. Rajah Jackson, he 25. He kind of repressed, man, in my opinion. I don't know Rajah Jackson. I'm just psychoanalyzing him off of the whole situation. But like I say, man, he reminds me of my son. You know, I love my son. I love my sons. I really need to say that like that, and I need to stress it like that. But I got one son that I say remind me a lot of Rajah. And seeing Rajah and Randy, Rampage Jackson, seeing these two men interact with each other, sometimes they be having these interactions and it look like they just want to hug each other, man. But they don't. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this to clown them. I'm not saying this to put them down. I'm definitely not saying that like my relationship with my sons are any better than theirs. You know, but I know what it's like and I know I'd be wrong. I should hug my sons more. You know what I'm saying? Especially at certain times. And us as fathers, we know it. We know it, man, but we'll get uncomfortable and we'll start teasing them or something. We'll try to make them laugh. Or we do that with our women. Our women is begging for us to hug them. And instead of hugging them, we'll try to make them laugh because we don't want to be vulnerable or we don't want to be toxic. Or we just don't want to be put into that emotional state right there. I got too much shit to do and I got to do certain type of shit. I'm a trucker, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be, you know what I'm saying? Don't be doing shit in front of my coworkers that's going to have them talking shit. You know what I'm saying? People just talk too much shit. People just talk too much shit. And when it comes to Rajah and Randy, you know, Rajah Jackson, his mother died when he was a young man. And so that left Randy Jackson to be a single father. And, you know, I do not like the red pill dudes. And I'll say it. I ain't cursed this whole video, but I'll say it right now. Man, fuck them red pill dudes. Most of them dudes ain't got no wives. Most of them dudes ain't got no kids. And if they do, they ain't got a good relationship with their kids. And they want to give everybody else motherfucking advice on what to do with their kids or what to do with their relationships. Motherfuckers been divorced 3 times. And each marriage, it was less than 2 years. Who the fuck are you ruining other people's marriages? You know, Kevin Samuels. I actually knew Kevin Samuels. I actually met him in San Antonio years ago when I worked at this place called West Telemarketing. That's the first real job I had, like the tax-paying job I had when I dropped out of high school at 16. And I met Kevin. And Kevin was going through some shit. Kevin didn't talk to nobody that I saw. Me and Kevin didn't work at the same department. But Kevin was the same dude. He was just younger. Kevin was in his 20s, and I might have been like early 20s, whatever. I was on felony parole or probation. I don't know if I was on probation. I don't know exactly what year it was, but this was back in the 90s when I met Kevin. And Kevin is something else, man. He the type of motherfucker that leaves an impression on you because he's different. That motherfucker Kevin is different. Kevin always been Kevin, man. But back then, he was working in sales. You know, he was a telemarketer. And he was trying to recruit me as a young man. And Kevin, you know, I was the type of kid, I was a sharp kid. I was a street kid, man. I was the type of kid, I could pick up shit and I could peep shit real quick. Even before I started studying psychology, I could like psychoanalyze a motherfucker real quick. And with Kevin, just the way he would talk to me, because I was one of the youngest dudes at the job. I dropped out of school at 16, so I was a teenager most of my time working at West Telemarketing. And I'm working with, all my coworkers are older than me. There's very, very few teenagers there. And the teenagers that do come, they only work there for a month or 2. Telemarketing is a very demanding, hard job. It's stressful as fuck. And I was a marketing rep working in the outbound department, doing telephone sales, calling people, selling shit that you motherfuckers couldn't believe you sell people that on the phone. You call strangers and you selling, giving out credit cards, giving out home equity loans. Like, the shit was crazy, man. I'm calling motherfuckers asking for their social security number. And I'm selling shit that I can't get. I'm selling shit that I'm too young to get or qualify for anything. And I'm just a salesperson. So like sometimes it was insurance or something like that. And I do the sale, but I can't complete the sale. So when I was like working on the insurance project, I can't get an insurance license at 16, 17, 18, 19. Even when I was able to get one, I'm like, I'm not finna get no insurance license. So I would make the sale, but I would have to call somebody for confirmation. And then they'll run over there. And the whole time I'm talking to this person, these people don't know that I'm a high school dropout. All you got to do is be articulate and intelligent. I'm calling people all over the country, man. I'm born and raised in Chicago. Now I lived in San Antonio, and I hadn't traveled much other than that. And now I'm talking to people in Maryland and Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? And people got different personalities. People want to curse you out and all this other type of stuff. Now, this particular job, we was real professional. We was a Fortune 500 company. And we weren't selling no bullshit, so we didn't have to kiss ass. You know what I'm saying? If people get rude to you, hang up. If people curse you out, hang up. I worked for, again, Fortune 500 companies. The company that we worked for, it was all the best. And I would talk to, it was a lot of legal things that you had to learn. Telemarketing, you know, I don't support Trump these days, but I definitely agree with him. It'd be nice if we had call centers here in America. And Americans should miss that. First of all, that's jobs. Those jobs pay very good, and they paid based off of skills. And it's a skill to be able to sell over the telephone, to be able to call people. You're a voice performer. You got to learn all kind of things. You got to learn to, for example, smile when you make these calls. I used to coach people. This is the craziest shit in the world. Because I learned real quick. And I had already been a kid. I had already dabbled in sales a lot growing up in Chicago. But the way it worked is you had teams. And these I can't get into West Telemarketing right now, but I would coach people. And everybody I coached is older than me. I really don't think I ever coached another teenager that was my age, but I'm coaching college age girls. And that was the thing too. Just because of the way things were, my managers would typically have me coach the younger people. So I'm coaching all these college girls. And man, it was hard coaching these girls because they just didn't get it. And a lot of time we would tell them like you need to smile in your phone call. A person can hear if you're smiling or not. And that's real shit. That's real shit. Let me try to find something real quick just to prove a point. Oh, got stuff in this glove box. This is a book that my mom participated in. Let me see if I can find my mama's chapter real quick, and I'll read some of her chapter. Where's my mama's name? Where is my mama's name? Dang, my mama all the way at the end of the book. She probably wrote a really good chapter. I hope that's why she at the end of the damn book. Hell, you got my mama at the end of the book. I don't even know what I'm about to read. But I'm going to do the different thing. And so a lot of these girls, especially young pretty girls, it was like the prettier they were, the more they wanted to not smile on the phone call. So, and I would teach these girls, I would coach these girls. So I would just take the script. And again, the reason I'm reading this code like this is because that's how it is when you're reading scripts. A lot of times when you learn to read scripts, you can't practice it before. So you have to learn to read correctly. So I'm going to read this first passage. I'm going to read the first paragraph, not smiling, just being serious, just being deadpan is the real answer. In late 2020, while house sitting for a friend, a professor at the local university. Oh no, I can't read that. Oh hell no, my mama talk about me and her fucking husband. Oh no, I can't. Oh man, I'm gonna read somebody else's paragraph. This ain't my mama that I'm reading right here. I can't read my mama shit. I am looking to build my platform. So, and this is how these girls would be reading. Of course, they didn't have the same. I'm talking about college girls, and I'm not going to imitate them, but I am looking to build my platform. So if I feel you that tugging in your heart and soul to reach out and offer a hand up to our hurting, lost, or confused sisters, I am on Instagram at Thrive with Abundant Life. And my email is, okay, I can't read this girl's email. I gave you a plug. I gave you the Instagram. That's a plug. But anyway, let me read the next paragraph with a smile on my face. Just a smile. It's better for you to try to have the emotion to match it, but just smile. My journey from an empty nester over 50, questioning her identity, to a Christian motivational speaker, empowered a woman who has survived. Oh, this is awesome. I'm actually read this bubbly as a motherfucker. My journey from an empty nester over 50, questioning her identity, to a Christian motivational speaker, empowering a woman who has survived horrific domestic violence, is a testament to the transformative power of purpose and resilience. Through the trials and triumphs, I have discovered my authentic self and found fulfillment in guiding others towards their paths of healing and empowerment. As I look towards the future, my vision extends beyond borders, with the hope of creating a global community of survivors and thrivers who draw strength from one another's stories and triumph. To every woman out there who thinks her life is over after the age of 50, there could be nothing further from the truth. I was about to make a joke because I'm over here being funny. But again, you could hear a person's attitude in their phone calls. And a lot of women, when I was coaching these women in these telemarketing centers, now, anyway, I mentioned Kevin Samuels. Let's get to Kevin. So I ain't gonna talk too much about Kevin, but Kevin tried to recruit me to be on his sales team when he first moved to San Antonio, because he ain't from San Antonio, he's from Oklahoma. Oklahoma City had the biggest call center, West Telemarketing. This is a corporation I used to work for. Now, the largest call center at one point was Oklahoma City, but telemarketing was leaving America. So since Oklahoma City had the biggest call center, they was the first call center to go because their overhead was astronomical. And I knew all this not being in Oklahoma City, but I knew it because it affected us in San Antonio because we had the second biggest call center. So as they was closing down this call center in Oklahoma City, it's going to affect us a lot. First of all, if you're a bottom performer, you getting the hell up out of here. Second of all, if you're a top performer, we got new jobs opening up. Since we got all these cats coming from Oklahoma City, we're going to need people to train them. We're going to need people to cross-train them. We're going to need people to escort certain executives that's coming from there doing these tours, blah, 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 blah. A lot of opportunity, but also this shit's about to get more competitive. And I'm young, I learn quick, and I'm kind of a natural, is the way that they look at it. I'm not really all that much of a natural. I just got a lot more experience than they would expect for my age. Just like I was reading that book. Now, the average person talking to me, dealing with me, they might not expect me to read like that because people are racist as fuck. And that was another great advantage I had going to work at West Telemarketing. I'm 16 years old. I dropped out of high school. I'm from Chicago. So all these southern racist, prejudiced motherfuckers is like, well, I heard about people from Chicago. You motherfuckers, yuck, 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 bluck, bluck, bluck. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm smarter than your motherfucking ass. Yeah, I'm from the ghetto, nigga, and I'm fucking, and my family fucked up. And what? You're an underachiever loser that's never really had to compete. Your whole life has been soft. You're soft. This southern way of living you've been living is soft. So I'm going to run circles around you and I'm not going to get tired. Everything in life is a gift and a curse. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. People be poo-pooing the Bible, man. That's real shit. And coming from the struggle, that's real shit. And I ain't gonna talk about Kevin right. Well, let's talk about Kevin. We already mentioned him. But Kevin's sales style was so different. First of all, I can't talk about Kevin. Put in the comments, if I get enough comments and likes and shit, I'll talk about Kevin. Because Kevin was a fucking headache. Kevin has always been a fucking headache. Kevin was always a fucking know-it-all. Kevin was always my way is the right way, your way is wrong. Kevin was always this motherfucker. But the one thing I peeped about Kevin, at the time, Kevin had a daughter and a wife / ex-wife, and he had some kind of marital problems, but he didn't really want to talk about it, but he wanted to front. And everything that anytime he talked about his wife was always wrong. He was never wrong. He was one of them niggas. Rest in peace to Kevin, but you know, Kevin was one of them motherfuckers, keep it 100, keep it 100. And shit, nigga, we keep it 100. Now, I was much younger than Kevin. I'm younger than Kevin. And at the time, like I say, you know, I think I'm about 10, 11 years younger than Kevin. I don't really know. Hey, never mind. Kevin lied about so much. Kevin was a fucking liar, and he was a lying-ass salesman. He was that type of salesman. And he was trying to get me, he's new to Oklahoma City. I've been working at this place for years, but I'm one of these in and out of jail ass niggas, man. And they just always hire me back because I'm real good at this shit. And you could cross-train me on another project, and I'm eager. I used to love the training because not only do they cross-train you, but they pay you to train you. So I'm like, I'm getting paid to sit in class and learn this shit with these stupid motherfuckers that like to be in class, too cool for school ass niggas. Oh man, we got to cross-train. Oh man, this teacher is too into it. Oh man, you take your job too seriously. Take your job too seriously? Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, what the fuck does that even mean, motherfucker? Take your job too seriously. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? That's my mentality and shit. A job is not a fucking, you know what I'm saying? A job is a blessing. A job is an opportunity. A job is a gift. But so many motherfuckers will complain having their job to slavery. Just like this bitch ass motherfucker that shot up the school yesterday. He had wrote some shit in there. You know, I read his old bullshit ass bitch ass manifesto on my channel, and I stand by everything I said in that. Old bitch ass nigga complaining about these bullshit jobs and this bullshit. Ain't no such thing as a bullshit job. You a bullshit employee, motherfucker. Motherfuckers work for these wonderful corporations that change the world, and they be sitting. For example, I ain't gonna mention that job. Well, I'll mention them. It's a corporation, Domino's. It's a pizza company. Now, Domino's is shit pizza. You know what I'm saying? It's not the best pizza in the world, but you get a lot of bang for the buck. You gonna get diarrhea if you anything like me, but you get a lot of bang for your buck. What you walk around my car for? What you want to ask me? You good? You kind of look like you want to ask me something.
Man, I'm going through hell, bro. You got some good roaches up in there?
Oh man, I don't even smoke weed, man.
Damn, man. You don't do shit at all?
I like weed.
Yeah.
But motherfuckers be fucking with that. You fuck with that fake weed, right? Don't you? What they call that shit?
Man, I fuck with it all. As long as it can get me, as long as it can get me out of the situation I am. You know what I'm saying? I'll be,
You need a break from reality,
yeah, man.
and you run around with your cup. So you want some vodka, some gin, or some shit, huh? I can help you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't drink much, but I don't encourage drinking either, man.
Yeah.
If you smoke weed, you should stick to it, man. I don't want to give you no alcohol and get you in trouble, because I ain't got nothing but liquor on me, man.
Yeah. Yeah, go get some liquor, man.
So yeah, man, I be arguing with these young punks. Let me check on this other brother before I get up out of here. He was right there when the shooting happened, man. So I definitely want to check on him real quick, man. What you doing over there, writing rhymes? I told you I was gonna check on you before I got up out of here, man. You was right there when that shit happened, wasn't you? You was over there when them cops shot that dude, wasn't you? I thought you was over there. I know you be over there most of the times. Okay. You good? All right. What you doing? Right? You be writing rhymes? You be rapping? That's a rap. You want to be on my YouTube channel? That young brother, man, he don't communicate very well, but we was just rapping together, man. He write rhymes. Kind of surprised me, man. It's kind of surprised me, man. Read me one of his rhymes and I start freestyling, because I be freestyling, man. And when I freestyle, I speak from my soul. But back to the topic. I know I was talking about Kevin Samuels, but like I said, I don't really feel like talking about Kevin right now. But he was in sales. Kevin in sales, man. I'll talk about Kevin. Is one, I don't really want to attract his crowd. Those red pill types. I don't like those dudes, man. Those dudes that like to bully women or mad at women because women don't just bust down and bust open for them. I am a conservative dude. I prefer women that are more selective. Don't just be fucking a dude because he bought the bitch a cheeseburger. But we're products of our environment, man, and surviving on these streets, man, it's a tricky thing, man. But the main thing about surviving the streets is all about respect, man. Respect. Respect. Money, power, respect. And that's the funny thing, you know, a lot of these, like, I don't like East Coast rap too much. That's not saying I don't like East Coast rappers. You know, my favorite rappers, a lot of my favorite rappers are off the East Coast. Of course, I like Tupac a lot. And he's originally from the East Coast, but they didn't show him enough love and respect. Things was just too competitive, and Tupac wanted peace and unity. But they just wouldn't stop competing with that nigga. And I can definitely relate to that being from Chicago, man. Motherfuckers want to compete with you all the time, man. They don't want to turn that shit off. And eventually it's like, nigga, I don't want to be doing that shit all day, man. I'm not in fucking grammar school no more. I'm beyond that. I'm past that, man. If that shit ain't out your system yet, you want to have pissing contests all day, then don't get mad when a nigga knock your ass out and piss on you. You know, I remember there's this thing, there's a lot of little crazy sayings when you locked up and you do time in prison. They got a lot of little cool ass sayings. And one of the little cool ass sayings is, it's better to be pissed off than to be pissed on. Better to be pissed off than to be pissed on. And that's really like a threat, you know what I'm saying? Nigga walking around mean, mugging, acting tough and shit, acting like he got an attitude and shit. And they like, you pissed off? Well, shit, nigga, you better be pissed off, because it's better to be pissed off than to be pissed on. So that's halfway of fighting word. It really depends on how somebody said to you and what they really, you know, in prison, man, a lot of times you got to say, like, man, what are you talking about? What are you saying, man? Because like I say, motherfuckers got them motherfucking smart ass mouths. And a lot of that shit talking is so funny. Motherfuckers be in the comments talking about shit. You should just let a motherfucker talk shit to you. Let it motherfucker. Look, let's say, for instance, me and you doing prison time together. And me and you gonna be locked in the same motherfucking dorm for 3 years. You think every motherfucking day I'm gonna wanna walk up? I'm gonna wanna wake up to you fucking telling jokes about me every fucking day? No, man. On top of that, man, motherfucker got court, motherfucker got new cases, motherfucker writing his baby mama, motherfucker getting letters about his kid fucking up or some dude that she fucking with fucking up. It's like, and you can't do shit about it when you locked in prison, nigga. And here this motherfucker come. Got jokes. Yo, mama, blah, blah, blah. Nigga, I prefer to fight. I'd rather fight than to joke every day. I'd rather fight every day than joke every day. Especially if it's gonna get you to shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Shit. Shit, nigga. Again. Again, nigga. Shut the fuck up, nigga. You think I want to hear you or I want to hear the motherfucking game, nigga? You think I want to hear you or I want to hear the motherfucking news, nigga? You think I want to hear you or you think I want to hear the motherfucking... Nigga, you talk all motherfucking day. We only get a little bit of day room time, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up, nigga. It's only 3 shows I watch, and here you is in my ear while I'm trying to watch this motherfucker. Shut the fuck up, nigga. It's a time and a place for everything. Nigga, I don't want to hear your shit all day, every day. This how you get your motherfucking entertainment? Nigga, nigga, I'll beat you up today. I'll beat you up tomorrow. You got jokes every day? Okay, for the next month, me and you gonna fight every day, at least once a day, nigga. Because I'm sick of it, nigga. I'm in prison in the first place. You got time for that shit. And it might not even be prison. Maybe you take a job like that, man. You know. Man, back in my day, man, so I was born in 78. So I was working in the 80s, working in the 90s, working in the early 2000s. Did a lot of construction and shit. I had a lot of jobs where motherfuckers would scrap real quick. West Telemarketing one of them places. You can fight at West Telemarketing, but not at West Telemarketing. Y'all better walk somewhere else, and you can even come back. Yo, we got a dress code. You got to have a dress pants, a dress shirt, and a tie. They don't care if that shit is bloody or not, but the main moral of this story, motherfuckers want to argue about Rajah Jackson beating up Stu. Stu has gotten better already. Congratulations to Stu. When they first had the incident, I saw it, I was like, fuck, what the fuck? Damn, Rajah fucked up. Because again, like I say, when I look at Rajah, He reminded me of my kid more than anything else. Even if he didn't remind me of my son so much, probably because I'm such a fan of Randy Jackson, I would probably kind of see him as my kid, and also knowing their story. Those two have been through so much together. Randy Rampage Jackson, we can relate in the other way. Him being the type of father he is similar to being a trucker as a father. You don't get to see your kids that much. You work hard as fuck for your kids. Everything you work for is for your kids. I spend more money on my kids than I spend on myself. Hopefully. And it depends on how that could work out, but it usually don't work out like that. But if you live with your woman, that's 100% true. If you paying for rent and you paying for food in the house, and then this motherfucker want nice shoes, regularly, and his feet always growing because he's a kid, and clothes and all this and that. You know, a father that's present, you do more for your sons or your daughters or your children than you do for yourself. 9 times out of 10. Now I can't claim that. I'm an absentee ass father, man. I've never been able to keep a home. Another reason I don't like these red pill dudes. I don't see my sons a lot. With the exception for the time that me and their moms was getting along and we actually living together, I don't see my kids every day unless I'm living with them. And even if I'm living with them, I might not see them every day because truckers, even if you're a local trucker, you tend to work really long hours. Now, back to the truckers. Fuck you truckers. Because I'm black, I don't deserve respect. You know how many motherfucking bitch-ass white boy truckers want to talk to me about Obama like I voted for him? Just because I'm black? I ain't vote for Obama. I'm from Chicago, nigga. Obama would have had a real hard time winning a nigga like me over, and he didn't do it. I respect him as the president. He turned out to be a pretty good president. He didn't do a lot of the goofy shit he was saying when he was running for office. And that's why a lot of people that voted for him don't like him. Because I am a conservative. And that's another thing about this conservative movement. These bitch-ass new conservatives. Conservatives talking shit all the time. Cursing in front of kids all the time. Drink all the motherfucking time. I drink, but I never was a drunk. I shouldn't say never. I went through my drunk era when I was a teenager, you know what I'm saying? But drinking don't really do much for me, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I don't want to be drunk. I don't want to be drunk to where the alcohol got more control over me than I got over myself. And that's what alcohol do. The alcohol ain't a good alcohol. Alcohol ain't a good one, man. It's so funny that drunk motherfuckers got the nerve to talk shit about people that smoke weed. And the only reason you have that feeling is because you a bitch. You a government-ass bitch. Alcohol is way worse than weed, but it's legal. And you a little bitch that's afraid to go to jail. And you the same motherfucker that's talking all this shit about the government. But you love that show Scared Straight because they be threatening children with dicks up their ass. But these children are from environments that you ain't from. So you don't relate to these kids. And not only do you not relate to these kids, but these kids kind of scare you. Because again, you a bitch-ass nigga, man. So anyway, I'm going to stop recording because I got to do some personal shit. I think I can catch this light right here. But peace out, man. Stay safe, man. And stop arguing with niggas like me on YouTube, nigga. You don't know me.